Actually, before I do, tell me who is from New Hampshire first. Here. Anybody? I'll ask others, but I mean, I won't limit it. But I'll let you guys go first about that. Great to be back in New Hampshire, as I said inside. Obviously, sorry I wasn't here a week ago Saturday. We were going to go riding. Scott Brown was going to join with me, ride Harleys out of Seacoast, and then get some ice cream with Mitt Romney. We'll come back and do some of that in the future, but obviously we weren't in town because of one of the 4 Marines that was shot and killed from Chattanooga, along with the naval petty officer that was shot and eventually died after that. One of the 4 Marines was from Wisconsin, so I canceled everything and went back there to be with that family, which I thought was appropriate. But we'll be here. We're glad to be here tonight for the forum. We're looking forward to a chance not only to talk to people here in New Hampshire, but across the country, and really just have a direct discussion. A lot of people ask about these forums and the debate that'll come up on Thursday. How do you prepare? I said it's just really talking to voters. It's like we were inside, going from booth to booth, it's the same sort of thing. I'm not going to worry about the other candidates. They can speak for themselves. I think I heard again here today, I hear it elsewhere across America, that people are tired of politicians telling you who they're against and what they're against. They want to know, Americans want to vote for something and for someone. So I'm telling people what I'm for. I'm for reform, I'm for growth, I'm for safety, I'm for bringing power at the hands of the big government special interest in Washington, sending it to the hands of the hardworking taxpayers in states like New Hampshire and others across the country. I'm for building an economy that helps everyone live their peaceful American dream that's pro-growth. And I'm for protecting our children and our grandchildren from radical Islamic terrorism and other threats in the world. That's what I want to talk about again tonight. So, the first question.
Well, 2 of the major candidates are not showing up tonight. Donald Trump and Mike Huckabee. Good idea or a bad idea?
Again, I'm going to let them answer for themselves. I'm going to tell people what I stand for, and every chance I get, if it's reasonable, if we get fit on our schedule, whether it's here in New Hampshire or elsewhere across the country, we're going to take the opportunity to talk to voters, either through forums or debates, or just one-on-one groups like we did here today.
But with 14 candidates, how do you get your message to stand out tonight?
Well, I think the biggest thing is if people look at, and it's a great field, I'm going to say good things about the other Republicans. There's a lot of great Republicans out there. I think what makes us unique is we've fought and we've won. We won in a blue state. We didn't just win elections, we actually got results, and we did it without compromising our principles. So I think voters want to know, can you fight? Can you win? Can you do it in a way that gets positive results for the people of America? And can you do it without compromising your principles? And all 4 of those things, I think I'm unique. I think I'm the only one in the race that can make that case.
Do you plan on talking about the heroin problems here and prescription drug abuse in New Hampshire? Is that something
I've talked about before? I met earlier this year with the mayor, and I had a long talk over at City Hall. It's very similar to the challenges we faced in Wisconsin a year ago, actually in a very emotional way. The co-chair of my budget writing committee, John Nygren, a state representative, has a daughter in her mid-20s who's nearly overdosed from heroin, been in and out of jail. And so we worked with Representative Nygren, one of our leaders in the legislature, to put in place a whole series of reforms. We call it the HOPE agenda that deals with heroin and opioid. It's a huge problem, particularly in rural parts across the country. And it's one of the things I think at the national level, well, I'm all for protecting people from violent criminals and all for protecting victims, particularly when it comes to mandatory minimums. I think there need to be some reforms done to provide alternatives to incarceration to help people get the treatment they need for nonviolent drug offenses. And heroin's certainly part of that.
Hey, Governor, it's one thing to say tonight you're going to stick to your message because you won't be on the stage with everybody else at the same time. But on Thursday, you know Donald Trump's going to come out of the gate, bash the living heck out of you, and complain about something. If you just kind of sit there and take it and stick to your message, it does seem kind of weak. Are you going to push back?
Oh no, well, you've already heard me this last week when I don't back off of anything. I think anybody who's seen me the last 4.5 years realize I stood up to more than 100,000 protesters. We had death threats, we had pushback. They threatened my family and others out there. We're certainly not going to back away from any protesters or anybody who's out there, because we've taken
Donald Trump's a protester?
No, I said anybody else out there. And so in terms of anybody in the debate, the bottom line is Donald Trump can speak for himself just like any other candidate when it comes to policy. What we'll do is address, and he said, I pointed out the attacks he made on us the other day are basically the talking points the Democrats have used for years. We've won 3 times in 4 years because the truth is very different from those attacks. The truth is in our state we inherited a $3.6 billion budget deficit. We fixed it. We cut taxes by $2 billion. We balanced our budget. In fact, we not only balanced our budget, our rainy day fund's 165 times bigger as we took office. Our pension system's the only one fully funded in the country. Our bonding levels are the lowest in 20 years. state that had over an 8% unemployment rate. It's down to 4.6% right now. Our ACT scores at our schools are second best in the country. Our health systems are second best in the country. We're doing pretty good. If we can do it all in the blue state, I have no doubt we can do that for America.
Governor, it seems like New Hampshire is a different sort of place to campaign. I mean, there were a lot of activists at this event. It seems like everyone who talked to you had very specific things that they wanted answered. Have you noticed a different vibe here in New Hampshire, or are you sure you want to spend time here?
Every state's different. This is my 11th trip this year, the 11th day I've been in New Hampshire, and I saw that last time I was at Joey's Diner. I saw that over at Seacoast. What I love about New Hampshire, I love about Iowa, I love about the early states, is that people take it seriously. They take the vote very seriously. Sometimes the national media, the pundits in Washington, New York grumble about states like New Hampshire and Iowa. I say it's great because the people in these early states take it totally seriously. They ask good questions. They don't have to be questions that are necessarily siding with me or for me or against me. I don't mind that. Like I said, I've run 3 times in the last 4.5 years. I'm pretty used to taking tough questions. I'm used to going to diners and places where people ask you things. I'm used to people not only from the state I'm campaigning in, but people coming in from other states to put us on the spot as well.
So then is it appropriate for you to use national polls then, if these early states are doing the campaign side?
What's that?
Is it inappropriate to use these national polls as a debate criteria?
Well, I don't use national polls. My only poll
well,
I
Fox
care.
is to determine the debate. If that's not what the campaign said, you think that's appropriate?
You got to ask them about that. I mean, to me, the bottom line is the only poll I care about is the one that's going to be taken early next year here and in other states across the country, both in the nominating process and then eventually, I hope, I'm on the ballot in November of 2016. That's the ultimate poll. And I think I'm the best position to take on and defeat Hillary Clinton. I think people should be very concerned about Hillary Clinton. You think about the concerns we've seen of late, I think there'll only be more coming out going forward. And I am the best contrast. I'm a new, fresh face. I got big, bold ideas from outside of Washington, and I've got a proven track record getting those done. I think those are a sharp contrast to Hillary Clinton.
Who would you rather face, Hillary Clinton or Joe Biden?
Either one. For us, I mean, Americans want a new, fresh face from outside of Washington who's actually gotten things done. I'm a great contrast to either of those two.
Okay, thanks, guys.
Okay.
Brewer or Breeze?
I said Brewers. I grew up with Brewers.
Oh,
Loved
really?
Hank, although I love Hank Aaron. He played with both.
Yes, he did.
Kirsten set up
Actually
a
started out in Eau Claire playing minor league ball.
Oh, you're kidding. Thanks so much. Hey, Governor.
Yeah.